Hi all, it's Paul here. Hope you're having a good Christmas and New Year. Recording this on New Year's Eve. Yeah, I've had a lot of messages off people basically asking what's my thoughts on the Cheltenham markets at the moment, obviously given the series of bizarre events and results, I suppose you'd say, over the last 2-3 weeks. So I thought I'd do a quick video on that. Also to plug, just a reminder, my WhatsApp service is still available. £10 a month. Basically, what happens is there'll be people on here who will no doubt comment, who are subscribed to it. Every weekend, the main races, usually on TV, I give an individual audio file sent through to you, breaking down the race and giving you a 1, 2, 3. Also, that's for the main meetings. Also, throughout the week and stuff, I'll be sending audios if there's ones that I quite fancy, etc. Give it up to a 5-star rating depending on confidence. And yeah, just other general racing stuff on there. Now, that is only £10 a month. There's no subscription to it or anything. So if you did it for 1 month, didn't fancy it, then that's absolutely fine. But yeah, £10 a month for that. December's been a pretty good month. Amongst the ones tipped up yesterday was De Klondike, that won at 13-2. Also had Poetic Rhythm, I think it was called, or Poetic Verse, whatever it was, for Fergal O'Brien. It was 7-2 at the time, went off at 15-8, that one. Earlier this month, Spice Girl at 7-2. And there's been a good few in there. We've been doing quite well. The Cheltenham videos in March will still be for free on this YouTube site, but no, if you're looking for stuff for the rest of the time, then yeah, no, by all means, just drop a comment on the video and I'll tell you more about the WhatsApp service. But looking at the Cheltenham markets at the moment, it's absolute carnage in every main championship race, really. Let's start with the Tuesday one, which is the Champion Hurdle. Obviously, Bouvredere has been 2 wins, effortless wins, it's got to be said. And I know you people are going to say, oh, we only beat the new one. The new one is a very, very tough horse, and he beat him on the bridle at Kempton. Came off for like 2 strides, but then just took care of him with no uncertain terms. And then it was the turn of Fahine, who was the co-favourite, who went to Ireland at 1-10 or wherever he was. And I don't understand what's going on here. Because he was beaten 3/4 of a mile out, pulled up, then returned with nothing wrong with him, which I'm really struggling with, and I don't understand what's going on with that, to be honest with you. But he has come back from a long injury. He won fine first time out, so I don't know if it's a reoccurrence. Maybe he just doesn't fancy it anymore. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you, because that really does, as I said, put the cat amongst the pigeons. So then pretty much we're left with Bouvredere. Then you look at the pretenders coming through who might have a go at it. Even the new one was being mentioned for it after his second in the International. But then Bouvredere beat him, and then suddenly the new one is going for the Stayers Hurdle. And to be honest, genuine 2-milers. There's like, Elgin's been doing well in some handicaps. But generally, I don't think he's the standard required. London Prize was a similar one earlier this season, but tragically he died following a fall at Cheltenham. My Tent or Yours, he's always reliable. It's another one of the Nicky Hendersons. I can imagine him to be there for it. But to be honest with you, in terms of Champion Hurdle, there's like, the other obvious one to mention is Mellon for Willie Mullins, but then he went to the International and got well and truly put in his place. And as I said, he's always been a bit of a hype horse, that one, and whether he can suddenly find a lot between, well, in the next 10.5 weeks, I really don't know. So at the moment for the Champion Hurdle, you can only really look at Bouvredere because there's nothing really of notes coming out where you think there's a genuine challenger for him here. Queen Mother time to put this one on there. Altior was the talk of everything. Altior then got his wind problem and is likely to go straight to the festival. So there's a big question mark over Altior. The one thing I would say is, though, if any horse gets one ready first time out, it's Nicky Henderson. Look how many years My Tent or Yours, he's previously mentioned, has been out and then suddenly comes after 2 years off and nearly wins a Champion Hurdle. So, and Altior is all class. He is an absolute classy animal. So, but that, he should be okay, but it's still a worry. The reason I think he might be okay is because the lack of challengers seems to be quite astounding, really. Min came back after his injury. Won a 3-horse race, fine. And then, okay, he lost the 2-mile 3-row, or the 2-miler he was in at Leopardstown in the steward's room. But there's no way a horse like Duke of Navan should be getting within a nose of him, well, within 10 lengths of him if you're going to call yourself a Queen Mother horse. So, and also Min got smashed by Altior in the Supreme Novice a few years back. So it's hard to make a case for Min. Then you've got Fox Norton, who won the Schlur well, but then was outpointed in the Tingle Creek. I think you can put a line through the King George. I don't think he stayed, and I think it was too soon after the Tingle Creek. But I think Fox Norton's likely to go for the Ryanair. I don't think they're going to keep him at 2 miles. I wish they would, because I think the hill plays to his strengths, but I think they're going to go down that route. Now, the interesting one here for me is Politolog, who was a big baby by Paul Nicholls' own admission last year. His jumping didn't stand, but this year he won the Halden with no fuss. He then battled really well to win the Tingle Creek. And then he went to the Desert Orchid at Kempton a few days ago. Okay, Special Tiara fell about half a mile from home, but Politolog still had him beat, I think. So I think Politolog is a live danger. Special Tiara always runs well at Cheltenham, but he fell the other day, which I don't think you can't. It's his first fall of his career. You can't hold it against him, but he's not getting any younger. So at the moment, it's such a tricky one because you just do not know the position of Altior. Because Altior is a special horse. I put him up there with the likes of your Sprinter Sacras. And while Politolog's good, I do think Altior will just have that too much toe for him if he's fit. I don't know if he's fit, so that's just once again flip a coin and see where we come. And now it's going to be a really tricky one. Then the Ryanair's a little bit more obvious in the sense that I think Undasu won it last year and he's going to go back again. But the fly in the ointment is Min isn't a 2 miler for me. And Willie Mullins has got to make the choice of Willie up Min to 2.5 mile. And then, because he's Rich Riccio Min, and then Undasu's in different colours. So the question is then, will Willie Mullins want 2 in the same? I just don't know. It's the Willie Mullins bingo game we mentioned where you just don't know what he's going to do. And to be honest with you, he's a cracking trainer, but I wish the likes of Rich in them would follow Jiggenstein and move horses to other yards because it creates all sorts of trouble. It must give Willie Mullins a headache, to be fair. But no, in terms of the Ryanair, Undasu's come back, done nothing wrong there. I think Fox Norton's going to step up to it. But I said I'd rather Fox Norton stay. If Fox Norton stays the 2 mile, I would say he's possibly going to be my champion chase because he only got beaten a diminishing margin last year, and I think he got a poor ride in the Queen Mother last year. He left Special Tiara with too much rope. But yeah, Undasu won this well last year. As I said, there's so much you just don't know where to go at, to be honest with you, because of what Willie Mullins is going to do. Then you've got the horses who are over 3 mile for the Gold Cup, but might drop back. Q Card is not a Gold Cup horse; he's past it. I'm virtually certain of that. But back over 2.5 mile, and in a race that's nowhere near as strong as a Gold Cup, Q Card has to come into it. So I really don't know at the moment where to come down to on this. I would suggest. Yeah, I would suggest if it's 2.5 mile, I'd still be in the camp of Undasu purely because he's settling better now. But it's by no means a foregone conclusion. Now, the Stayers hurdle market's been completely blown to pieces over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Because, you know what I mean, Harry got turned over by Beer Goggles, which didn't really bother me because I thought that's a one-off. But then he came out for the race, the long walk, before Christmas, and he was absolutely hammered. No excuses, no nothing, and it could just be he's another year older. So you know what I mean? Harry's gone from pretty much a banker for the top 3 in the Stayers hurdle to I'm not sure. But the big reason to not be sure is that Nichols Canyon was younger, but tragically Nichols Canyon died in a fall at Leopardstown. So again, with the World Hurdle, I'm sitting there thinking, I literally don't have a clue. I don't think Beer Goggles is the answer. Sam Spinner's come into 4-1. But he looks to me like a soft ground galloper. I'm not sure Cheltenham will pay to Sam Spinner's strengths, if you want me to be 100% honest. But then it literally leaves me going, I don't have a clue. I think something is going to come out of here, possibly from Ireland, and win this. It could be like a Jigginstown horse that they reroute over it. It could be maybe even a novice that they're going to go and send over there. I don't know who. I don't know what. But I've just got a feeling the World Hurdle could have an outsider here, and I don't know who's going to be the one to play it. But I just got that feeling. Then we move to the Gold Cup. Now, where to get started on the Gold Cup? Sizing John, beaten all before him, great comeback, run no sort of run at well, this is the bit that gets me. No sort of run of Leopardstown, then was declared clinically abnormal after the race, but then Jesse Herrington come out and said, oh, he was fine. I don't know what to believe or who to believe, but say he is clinically abnormal. 10 weeks till the festival, let's say you'll be on antibiotics for 2 to 3 weeks. Then brought back, that's no prep for a Gold Cup, and Saison John now, it's a massive question mark against him. Then we had Bristol Demai, who won everything in soft ground and was on for the bonus, and then got absolutely smashed in the King George because I think he needs heavy ground. So I think come Cheltenham, it's going to go against him. Thistle Crack, really poor hurdle comeback, 4th in a below average King George. Hard to make a case for him. Might Bite won the King George, but when you look how close, nothing against him, Double Shuffle and T for 2 were, that's nowhere near Gold Cup form, but he is 2 for 2 this season and he has won at Cheltenham. Fox Norton, I said, put a line through that one. Whisper ran terribly in the King George, but it was so soon after what was the Hennessy. And as I've been saying to the people who follow my WhatsApp group on the monthlies, I've been writing horses off on those ones when I'm analysing races because I said that was a hard race, and it seems to be the most sensible decision. So maybe Whisper come March, but he's getting no younger, so I really don't know on that one. At the moment, I'm actually thinking Might Bite will be better in the spring, because I looked at his RPRs, Racing Post ratings, last year, and they were best in the spring, so maybe he's better horse on spring ground. But again, it's a really hard one. The market's just been completely chopped and changed about 6 times. Because even the likes of, well, Q Card's finished on the Gold Cup scene for me now. Jack Adams proven the last twice his chances have been and gone. Thistle Crack that's not Gold Cup form that he's got. The interesting thing I also mentioned on my WhatsApp was, if you look at Thistle Crack and his 5 race wins, of the horses he's beaten in those 5 wins, there's only been 2 wins subsequently since, so his chase form as a whole for Thistlecrack might have been a bit overbold, to put it blunt. So I don't know. Gold Cup, I'm thinking possibly Might Bite. And it's hard. The problem is, as well, the hard because there's so many of these Irish horses over there. Don't be surprised if something like Total Recall proves to be a Gold Cup horse, a bit like the way Synchronized came out of nowhere and won the Gold Cup. You know, Total Recall might be the answer here if they keep him fresh for it and improving, because I think it's not a vintage Gold Cup year necessarily. So anyway, there's just some rambling thoughts on where I think we're up to, because literally, as you said, every main market has been turned on its head. No way around it. The Champion Hurdle market, the Champion Chase, the Ryanair, the Stayers Hurdle and the Gold Cup have all had massive fluctuations, and my head's all over the place with it. So it's going to be a really interesting 10 weeks now to see how the markets form and who comes into form. I think that's going to be a big one. Who's going to run into form? There's a lot of racing in the calendar. I think there's almost too much racing, and I think you're seeing horses running a lot more frequent, and therefore you're getting some running below form. So for Cheltenham this year, I'm going to be looking for the ones who, I don't want horses who have had any more than 1 run really between now and March. If they've done that on top of what they've already done, that's starting to worry me a lot. The wild card, the last thing I've got a note on here, is Apple's Jade. Won the 3 miler. She's really, really tough. Will they throw her in the Stayers Hurdle, or will they just go and walk the David Nicholls Mears Hurdle, which she will? I don't know what they're going to do. It depends if they feel like being bold. I think the big thing is with Jigginsan is, do they have one for the Stayers Hurdle? Because that's what it comes down to. If they can suddenly go and pluck something out the Stayers Hurdle, then she will go for that. If not, then don't be surprised to see Apple's Jade go in for that. Okay, well, Happy New Year. Good luck in all your punting. As I said, the next video will probably be now the run down to Cheltenham. But if you're interested in the WhatsApp service in the meantime, let us know, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers.